So let's start with Brazil. Brazil's blistering growth has slowed down the last couple of years. What's the outlook?
I think it's kind of spurts and level off and spurts and level off. I mean, Brazil has so many amazing things, so many amazing resources. A lot of the iron ore stuff they're shipping to China, the pre-salt, the oil find is just enormous. There's this law that says that all of the platforms and ships have to be 70% Brazilian content. Right. I know of one, a big contractor that hired 30,000 people just last year to work on pre-salt with Petrobras. So enormous projects going on that are revenue generating stuff. You got, the agribusiness is huge. Brazil's the soybean capital of the world. In certain parts they get 3 crops a year versus 1 crop in the U.S. And so there's a tremendous agribusiness business. There's also a consumer that's growing. They do a lot of internal consumption. Salaries, costs are a little high and salaries are a little low, so those things have to equal out. The government's got to lay off on the taxes a little bit, but I think there's just a lot of great ingredients, great natural resources, great people that work hard and are innovative and want to spend money if they can make a little more. And so I think it's just going to continue to grow. I think it's going to, a lot of ingenuity, a lot of you can't duplicate fresh water and great weather and great climate for agribusiness and oil and minerals and all that stuff. It's just got a tremendous future, we believe.
Yeah, well, that's a very upbeat view. Continuing growth of the middle class.
Yeah. I think the middle class is already really big. I know we define the middle class in Brazil with a little lower standards, probably where the U.S. is heading, actually. But it's a lower standard. But there's 100 million people in the middle class, and that's like 200 million people in the country. And there's maybe 110 million in what we call the C class. So you have the A class and the B class, maybe 20, 30 million people that are kind of the upper class. And then you have this other class, the middle class, and then you have the people in poverty below. But it's growing. It's people are participating. They certainly have issues of education. There's actually almost full employment in Brazil. There's over 5% unemployment, and a lot of the companies I know are actually looking for people that have technical skills. And so it's actually a lack of workers as opposed to people, walking around looking for jobs like, we have here in the United States.
Yeah. What are the biggest challenges for the country now?
Well, I think you got issues with education. Yeah. A lot of private education on kind of the college level. A little better elementary school education. We need to get some more better pay for teachers and better quality education. But there is a burgeoning class of private and technical schools that's doing well and training a lot of people. Security is always an issue in Brazil. The rule of law and making sure it's not no terrorism threat or anything like that. It's just petty stuff. So that needs to continually be addressed. And just getting. I think President Dilma is doing a good job and kind of being very pragmatic and leading the country. And they just have to keep focusing on I think relieving pressure on people from the tax perspective and letting people have more disposable income, because they've proven that if they have some, they'll spend more, and that ignites the economy even more. So I think it's there's a lot of things. It's certainly not the United States in a lot of ways, but I think the potential is much greater.